After an absolutely spectacular season opener a few weeks ago from the Auto Club Speedway, where we saw John Andrews and Otter Island Motorsports go to victory lane in absolutely spectacular fashion, we arrive here at another track here in the state of California that has been unfortunately lost to time, but it is preserved here in NR2003, and it is an absolute staple here on the IndyCar Series calendar. And it's produced some awesome racing in the past. I mean, just look at last year's race here, where we saw Logan Williams, your eventual winner, just edge out Thomas Troxel, your eventual series champion. It's going to be a very fun race, I can tell you all that. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to race number 2 here on the 2025 Haas IndyCar Series season. It's In-N-Out Indy California, here from the Riverside International Raceway. What's going on, everybody? Caleb here, and welcome to In-N-Out Indy California, here from the Riverside International Raceway, a 2.69-mile road course here in Riverside, California. Like I said, it is an absolute staple here on the IndyCar calendar. This race usually always cooks, and I have no doubt that it will do the same here this year. Started off the season on an oval. This will be our first road course race of the season. And yeah, can't really think of a better road course to kick it off. Riverside pretty much just about has anything you could ask for. It's a very fast road course, a lot of sweeping corners, and it ought to definitely produce some exciting racing over the course of these 19 laps. But real quick, taking a look at your point standings coming off of the season opener at Auto Club, of course, where it has only been one race in. You've got John Andrews currently sitting at the top of the point standings with 51 points and has a 10-point gap to second points, Angel Oliveira. Looking further on down the point standings, 14 points back is Braden Perez, 19 points back is Angel Gutierrez, 21 back is Audra Baranowskis, and Baranowskis is actually tied there with Aaron Abel. And then 7th points, 24 back, you got Tanner Parton. 8th in points, 27 back, you've got Zachary Fitzwater. 9th in points, 29 back is Bruno Giacomo. And rounding out your top 10 in points, we have your champion from the 2023 season of Luna Lona. But sitting on the pole for today's race, it is the driver who won the inaugural running of this event back in 2017. That is Zachary Fitzwater. Driving the number 52 there for Trackhouse Racing. Had a pretty solid run last race out at the Auto Club Speedway. Came home in the top 10. Like I mentioned, he was 8th in points coming in, so definitely has a good shot for a good point stay here today. He's starting alongside there the 93 of Avery Alford. Have to see what they can do from the front row. Track position could definitely mean a lot here at these road courses. But you also do have that pit cycle that will happen towards the tail end of the race, so that ought to definitely play a factor as well. Definitely want to make sure you can get that strategy right. But we'll just have to wait and see how it all goes down here from the Riverside International Raceway. But, alright, I think it's about time we get these guys rolling here from Riverside. And we'll take a quick look here at your starting lineup here for In-N-Out Indy California. Of course, as aforementioned on the pole, we have the number 52 of Zachary Fitzwater starting alongside the number 93 of Avery Alford. Row number 2, we find last week's winner and current points leader John Andrews starting alongside the number 41 of Bruno Giacomo. Row 3, we find the 99 of Max Anderson starting alongside the 00 of Christian Vargas. Row 4, we find the 83 of Braden Perez starting alongside the 98 of Brennan Wilmington. And rounding out your top 10, we've got the 07 of Bradley Bradshaw starting alongside the 55 of Noah Clifton. Making sure everyone rolls off okay. It looks like we are good. And the race info will be on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Of course, a 19-lap race here today. Usual 30 entries, and the pit cycle should happen, like I said, around the tail end of the race. Somewhere probably around lap 16 to 17 is when we should see most of these guys come in. You could maybe see some guys try and come in a little bit early to avoid all of the pit lane traffic. We could see some guys maybe even attempt to stretch it as far as they possibly could, maybe about 18 laps. We'll just have to wait and see. But regardless of the fact, this is going to be a very, very fun race here from the Riverside International Raceway. No doubt about that. It's coming down the really long back straightaway here. A very important part of the racetrack here. You can generate a lot of good runs here heading into the final corners. And we've seen a lot of moves being made there in the final corner. Like I said, just look at last year's race here, where the move for the win was made literally coming through the final corner as Logan Williams just barely got a nose under Thomas Troxel and just barely got him at the line. That's what we always say here on the channel. You just got to beat him at the line. And Logan Williams did just that. I have to see if we get another photo finish this year. It'd be awesome if we could, but regardless of whether we do or not, it's still going to be a very, very fun race. But here we go through the final corner, the long sweeping right-hander. It's going to be the 52 of Zachary Fitzwater and the 93 of Avery Alford, who's going to lead the field down the front straightaway. Pace car is going to make the right-hand turn into the pit lane. And here we go. We are green flag racing here in In-N-Out Indy California from the Riverside International Raceway. Well, that might have been the jump to all jumps right there. What a start there by Zachary Fitzwater. He's already pulled a huge gap back to the 93 of Avery Alford. John Andrews in the 79 there, sitting in the third position. Bruno Giacomo settles in fourth, and Christian Vargas is settling in the fifth position. So the top five pretty much remains the same. Brennan Wilmington there in the 98. He's made up some spots already, now up into the sixth position, past Max Anderson and Braden Perez. You got Noah Clifton there in the ninth position. Battle for 10th as Baranowskis and Bradley Bradshaw are going at it. Looks like Bradshaw's going to hold on. But coming back to the line, Zachary Fitzwater is going to lead the opening lap here from Riverside. Looks like everyone made it through the first lap okay. And with everybody bunched together, it can cause some chaos here, especially kind of going through these long sweeping corners, and the trouble spot is usually coming up to this tight right-hander coming up the hill here, because we're pretty much just swinging the car left and right through all those left and right-handers, and then you got to go uphill, and then you got to quickly brake for that right-hander. Sometimes it can cause a bit of calamity, but so far so good here from this running of the In-N-Out Indy California. Got a battle for fourth heating up between Bruno Giacomo and Christian Vargas, and you've got the 98 of Brennan Wilmington waiting in the wings. We're going to stay side by side, and Christian Vargas should potentially have the advantage here as we go through the right-hander. And it looks like he is going to take that spot away, and this is also going to open the door for the 98 of Brennan Wilmington to potentially come through. They're going to go side by side into the opening left-hander, and Giacomo is going to hold on to the position. Well, it looks like Wilmington might have a pretty fast car here. He's already pretty much pulled away from the cars behind him, not even to mention the fact that he passed two cars there on the opening lap. Might have to watch out for this 98 car as this race goes along. Up front, it is still Zachary Fitzwater, but Alfred and John Andrews have kind of been able to close that gap to the 52. And, you know, Vargas, Giacomo, Wilmington, they're still within pretty close distance of our race leaders. Got a couple battles going on back here. Max Anderson going after the 55 of Noah Clifton. And you had Baranowskis there once again trying to go after the 07 of Bradley Bradshaw. Not able to get it done quite there, but still within striking distance there of the 07. Clifton and Anderson going to stay side by side here, but Clifton should have the advantage here going into the right-hander. Anderson kind of sent it in there on the outside, not quite going to work out for him, and that's going to open up the door for the 07 of Bradley Bradshaw to get underneath him. But then it's going to kind of change hands here as we go into the left-hander. We'll see if Bradshaw can maybe stay side by side. He is going to stay side by side with him. We're going to stay side by side going through the S's here. Andre Baranowskis waiting in the wings of these two. Almost made contact there with Bradshaw. Anderson is going to hang on there. Baranowskis trying to go around the outside of Bradshaw. Not quite going to work out there. Bradshaw will hold on to the position. And side by side for the lead. Here comes the 93 of Avery Alford. Looks like he tried to dive it down to the inside there. Didn't quite work out. Bradshaw got the traction off of the corner. And unfortunately, that's going to kind of hurt Alfred here down the long straightaway. Here comes the 79 of John Andrews. Looking to maybe potentially try and take the second position away. Peeking down to the inside. He might get a nose here coming out of the corner. Alfred might be able to hang on here through the left-hander. He will. Here comes a 00 as well of Christian Vargas. And Wilmington has passed the 41 of Bruno Giacomo there for the 5th position. And these two are going to be going side by side through the S's. Vargas, excuse me. Vargas is going to clear there for the 3rd position, and Wilmington is going to clear for 4th. Vargas went a little bit wide there through the right-hander, and Wilmington is already at the gearbox of that 00. That 98 is fast. He is mowing through the field right now here in the early stages of this one. Now up front, it's pretty much just Zachary Fitzwater and Avery Alford. Alford trying to stick with that number 52. Taking a look back through here, Bradley Bradshaw trying to get by, and he will get by. The 99 of Max Anderson there for the 9th position. He goes a little bit wide there, though, through the right-hander. Anderson trying to get back down to the inside. And it looks like he will. Bradshaw will have the advantage here into the left-hander, and he will stay clear for the time being. Someone with a little bit of off-roading there, but no harm, no foul. Alford closed right back up to the gearbox there of Zachary Fitzwater. Trying to find a way around that 52. You've got Vargas trying to close. Same for the number 98 of Brennan Wilmington. Alford definitely has some speed as well in that 93. Just trying to find a way around this 52 of Fitzwater. Fitzwater doing a great job right now at defending that race lead. We'll have to see what Alfred can do. We'll have to maybe see what this 00 Vargas and this 98 of Wilmington have got for our race leaders, if they can catch up to them. Got a battle now going on here back here. We got the 41 of Giacomo and the 83 of Braden Perez going at it. Giacomo is going to hold position for the time being. You got Baranowskis potentially looking for a way around Max Anderson there. You got both Division Motorsports cars hanging out here right outside the top 10. You got Baranowskis in the 1, Tanner Parton there in the 8. Avery Alford might have had a bit of a tough go of it through the S's in the right-hander. He lost a bit of ground there to Fitzwater and has now kind of fallen into the clutches of the 00 of Christian Vargas and the 98 of Wilmington. Looks like they're going to hold position there for the time being. You got the Division Motorsports cars now going at it there for the 11th position as Parton trying to get around his teammate, the one of Audra Baranowskis. they're going to stay side by side. You've got the 88 Anthony Hernandez, rookie to the IndyCar Series, having a good run here so far, running right outside the top 10. You've got Ace Garcia there, and Tanner's going to take the spot away from Baranowskis, and that opened the door for the 88 of Hernandez. And he might suffer here through the left-hander. It's going to see the position there to Baranowskis. He's going to go side by side with the 27 of Garcia, but it looks like he's going to hold on to the spot. A little bit more of off-roading. Braden Perez going at it there with the 55 of Noah Clifton. And the 98, Brennan Wilmington, has gotten past the 00 of Christian Vargas there for the third position. Wilmington continuing to make up spots. His next target will probably be the 93 of Avery Alford. And we'll have to see if he can get to the 52 of Zachary Fitzwater. Again, look towards the back of the field. Not the best of runs for Duncan Ward, Justin Zeidel, Angel Gutierrez. All three of those guys kind of got a bad luck of the draw with the starting position. Unfortunately, it's not really working out for them. Still got that pit stop to worry about, though, so they've still got time to potentially make up some ground. Anthony Hernandez there losing a spot to the 04 there of Luna Lona, but it looks like he's going to try and dive it down to the inside here in the left-hander and potentially try to take that spot back. But Lona, they both kind of checked up a lot there going through the S's. Here comes the 39 of Dylan Matthews. Oh, off goes, I believe that's the 63 of Logan Williams and the 86 of Carson Miller. They're going to get back on track, luckily, with no issues. But that was a bit of an excursion for those two. Luckily, they were able to keep it straight. But my goodness. Put a replay of that on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Up front, Wilmington, right on the gearbox of this 93 of Avery Alford. I wouldn't be surprised if this 98 was the fastest car on the track right now. Now peeking to the inside of Avery Alford there for the second position. It's been a hot minute since Brennan Wilmington has been to victory lane as a driver. I guess the last time I can really remember was the Celsius Stock Car World Cup. But what a win this would be for Wilmington if he was able to pull it off. But Alfred's going to hold position for the time being, and he had a pretty good set of S's there, and he's kind of closing a little bit to the 52 of Zachary Fitzwater. But all three of these guys now under a blanket. You've got Vargas there in fourth, under fire from the 79 of John Andrews. John Andrews off to a very great start to the season. Like I said, won last race at Auto Club, now running up here in the top 5 here at Riverside. I was kind of asking at Auto Club, could we potentially see another Bradley Bradshaw, and still might be a little early to be making assumptions, but if we can keep this up, we might be looking at this season's Bradley Bradshaw in at the 79 of John Andrews. But past halfway now, here from In-N-Out Indy California. It's still Zachary Fitzwater out in front, but he's got a mirror full of Avery Alford, who's got a mirror full of the 98 of Brennan Wilmington. So you're pretty much on top of each other right now, and if one makes a mistake, all the others are going to pounce on each other, so definitely very tense up here towards the race lead, and starting to kind of close in towards the end of the race and that inevitable cycle of pit stops that these guys will have to make. Taking a look here, your fastest lap of the race actually belongs to the 00 of Christian Vargas. And second fastest lap belongs to the 98 of Brennan Wilmington, so not really a surprise there to see these two with the fastest laps of the race. These have been some of the quickest cars that we've probably seen so far this race. Wilmington potentially looking on at the 93 of Avery Alford once again, trying to find a way around. Staying in behind for the time being. Without setting something up, it can be a little bit difficult to pass here at times, but definitely doing his best. And Fitzwater went a little bit wide, makes a bit of contact there with the 93 of Avery Alford. That would have been a moment of all time if Fitzwater just got turned off of the nose of the 93. But luckily they were able to keep it straight, or else we would have had some probably pretty fiery words in the chat after this race. Alford closing back into the 52, looking to try and pass him cleanly, I guess. Wilmington there in the 98 is still just hanging right there, trying to look for a way around Alford as Alford tries to look away around the 52 of Fitzwater. Put out a bit of a rough entry there to the S's. Alford right on the gearbox of the 52 as they go up the hill. Alford, I guess right now, just kind of abiding by their time, waiting for the right moment to strike. Double zero Christian Vargas trying to potentially close on the 98 of Brennan Wilmington. Through the field here again as they go down the long straightaway. A battle going on back here towards the back of the pack. You've got your reigning champion Thomas Troxel, who's got damage to the number 28. So something must have happened there with Thomas Troxel. You've got some damage to the wing there on the right front. So it looks like we might have had a bit of a calamity go on. Put a replay on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, but tough start to the season there for our reigning champion of Thomas Troxel. And it looks like he might have got into it there with the 80 of Chris Reynolds. Yeah, like I said, I'll put a replay of what happened on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Tough break for those two. But coming to lap 15 this time by. Pit cycle should be opening up here, so I'll have to see if maybe anybody elects to try and come down early. And like I said, try to potentially avoid some of that pit road traffic that we can see once everybody starts coming in at the exact same time. But as it's looking right now, it might come down to one of these three. You've got Fitzwater, you've got Alford, and you've got Wilmington right now, all under a blanket. You know, Christian Vargas might be able to make something happen. He's kind of been closing on these guys the last few laps. Fitzwater goes wide through the right-hander, and here comes Avery Alford. This was the chance that he was probably looking for. Fitzwater did not have a good entry there into the right-hander, and Alford is clear for the race lead. No, he's not. Fitzwater got a good run there off of the corner, and they're going to stay side by side here down the long straightaway. Wilmington in the number 98 giving drafting help to the 93 of Avery Alford. This is going to set the both of them up well here for this right-hander. Alford's going to clear, but he slides up just a bit. Here comes Brennan Wilmington in the 98. And Fitzwater's down pit road. Side by side for the race lead. Alford's going to hang on to it for the time being. But Zachary Fitzwater lost the race lead and pretty much about immediately dove into the pit lane. Looks like he might be the only one. Actually, there might have been a few takers the lap before. We've got the 1 of Adria Baranowskis and the 48 of Marcus Glitch. There goes Fitzwater. We got a crash. That's Noah Clifton and Nicholas Samadio. There might have been some stacking up here on the racetrack as well. A little bit slow there for the 83 of Braden Perez. He might have been involved in that. Put a replay on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, but up front, Wilmington and Avery Alford going at it for the race lead. They're both going to stay out another lap. Christian Vargas in the 00 is going to come into pit lane. So is the 79 of John Andrews, Bruno Diacomo. Bradshaw's going to stay out. So is Max Anderson and Ace Garcia. A lot of split strategy going on here at the Riverside International Raceway. But at the moment, it's still up front. Brendan Wilmington and Avery Alford going at it for the race lead. There's Zachary Fitzwater there in the 52. This will be a pretty important set of laps for Fitzwater if he wants to try and hang with these race leaders. Because, of course, the earlier you pit, the more fuel you got to take. So we'll have to see if that will work out for him. But coming to 2 laps to go here from the Riverside International Raceway. We'll see if Alford and Wilmington, I would assume they'll probably both duck down to pit lane this time by. And it looks like that will indeed be the case. So in comes our race leaders, Avery Alford, Brennan Wilmington. There's the 80 of Chris Reynolds there. There goes Joe 7 of Bradley Bradshaw, Garcia, Max Anderson. Don't know if anybody will, but we'll see if anyone elects to try and stay out an extra lap. It does not look like that's going to be the case. Christian Vargas in the 00. It looks like he's jumped the 52 of Zachary Fitzwater. And watching Wilmington and Alford, they make contact! Coming out of the pit lane. Alford, it looks like he might hold on to the lead, but Wilmington in the 98 is going to fall to 4th, and he's got damage to the front wing. Oh, that is a heartbreaker for Brennan Wilmington. It looks like he was maybe even going to beat Alford off of the pit lane. And yeah, he's kind of struggling now with the handling of the 98. We'll have to see if he can stay out and maybe salvage a good finish, but that was potentially a race-winning car there for Wilmington. That is such a heartbreaker for him. But out front, you got the number 93 of Avery Alford. And he might potentially have some damage as well from that. So we'll have to see if he can hang on to this race lead. And here we go, coming through the long sweeping right-hander. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go. Here from the Riverside International Raceway for Avery Alford and Evans Ross Racing. Christian Vargas, Zachary Fitzwater trying to run him down. Now Clifton, the 55 there in the pit lane, was involved in that earlier incident. Wilmington right now running in 4th, just, I guess, trying to hang on for dear life at this point. You got John Andrews right now rounding out your top 5. Coming down the long straightaway for the final time. They're going to be going at it for the 2nd position, as Fitzwater tried to get by Christian Vargas there to no avail. And it looks like they might be closing on the 93 of Avery Alford, but it looks like they are going to run out of time. And here we go, through the right-hander for the final time. It's going to be Avery Alford and Evans Ross Racing, who's going to win here at the Riverside International Raceway. Avery Alford wins In-N-Out Indy California from the Riverside International Raceway. How about that for Avery Alford? Christian Vargas is going to come home in 2nd. Zachary Fitzwater is going to round out your podium. Wilmington is going to hold on to the 4th position. John Andrews is going to come home 5th. Bradley Bradshaw there in the 6th position. 7th goes to Bruno Diacomo. How about Alger Baranowski's coming home in 8th? 9th is Ace Garcia and Max Anderson. Going to round out your top 10 there. Another year, another absolutely spectacular race here from the Riverside International Raceway. What a win there for Avery Alford. a regular for Bernie Wilmington there with that pit lane collision, but he will still come home with a great points haul there in the 4th position. Wow. What a race here from the Riverside International Raceway. Like I said pre-race, this track always delivers. What a way to start off the road course campaign here for the 2025 Haas IndyCar Series season. And this is Evans Ross Racing's first win in IndyCar as well. So, hey, shout out to Evans Ross Racing. Great stuff there for them. But taking a look here at your official results here for In-N-Out Indy California, it is Alford getting the win, Vargas second, Fitzwater third, Wilmington, Andrews, Bradshaw, Diacomo, Baranowskis, Garcia, and Anderson, your top 10. And definitely had a couple accidents there during the race. We had that one with, I guess, presumably Chris Reynolds and Thomas Troxel. And then you had the bigger looking wreck, which seemed to involve Noah Clifton, Nicholas Samudio, and potentially others. Which, like I said, replays should be up for that. But, yeah, wow. What a race here from the Riverside International Raceway. Season has just begun, and we've already got 2 absolutely spectacular races to build the rest of the season off of. It's not 2 absolutely spectacular close finishes like we saw last year, but you know what? It's still been 2 absolutely spectacular races overall. And yeah, I really can't see how the rest of the season will go at this rate, but my goodness. Let's see, next race is going to be Firestone, Indy, Texas at Circuit of the Americas. That race will be going up next Friday, February 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you all there. But once again, congratulations to Avery Alford and Evans Ross Racing for winning here at the Riverside International Raceway. And I will see you all from Circuit of the Americas. Y'all take care and have a good one. Here is your point standings after race number 2 of the season.